Hi guys! Today I'm doing a first impressions and overall review of the Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked Deer palette and the Swan palette. What I'm going to do today is I'll do swatches with the Deer palette. This one is more for light skin tones. And I do have the Dragon palette that is also for light skin tones. So I'll do a swatch comparison of those two. And then I'll do the swatches of the Swan palette. And I do have the Elephant palette as well, which is, these two are both more light to medium skin tones. So I'll do a swatch comparison of those two. And then I'm going to apply them to my face. I will do the Deer palette on the one side and the Swan palette on the other side. I do have a warm skin tone. I consider it to be light. As soon as I go a bit more medium, it's too dark, and if I go a bit more fine, it's too light. So I really want to do a comparison with these two, but I suspect this one will work better for me in the winter months, and this one will work better for me in the summer months. Now I will add timestamps in the description box below for everything, so if you're only interested in one of the palettes, then you can just skip to the correct timestamp and then you don't have to watch everything. So let's kick off with the Deer palette swatches first. So that's what the box looks like. At the back it has all the ingredients and the color names. It comes with a little protective black box. It has one of these little plastic stickers on the cover to protect the image. And then there we have the colors. They're so pretty. So if I compare the colors of the Deer palette with the Dragon palette, you can see that orange shade is about the same depth as this one. Your highlighter shades are about the same depth. I think it's the same finishing powder, that first one. I like the fact that this pinky color is a bit more bright, because this mauvey color doesn't really take it very intensely on my skin. So I'm hoping this pink color just has a bit more of a color payoff. This bronzer definitely seems like it could be darker than that one. Here's the bronzer. So from what I understand, the first finishing powder is an existing shade, the bronzer is an existing shade, and the highlighter is an existing shade. And then this finishing powder and the two blushes are new shades. So let me swatch them. I'm going to do the two finishing powders, then the bronzer, then the highlighter, and then the blushes. So this one is the Dream Light finishing powder, and this one is the Aura Light finishing powder. It looks like it's a bit deeper and has a bit more of a yellow undertone. So we have Dream Light and Aura Light. So you can see the Dream Light does appear to be a bit lighter. The bronzer is Diffused Bronze Light. There's what the bronzer looks like. And there's a swatch of the bronze. Oh, it's pretty. Might be a bit light for me, but maybe in the winter months it will show a bit more, or if I do a very natural look. Okay, we have the highlighter in Iridescent Strobe Light. There we have the highlighter. It's not a very shiny highlighter. It looks like it could be more of a muted highlighter. So there we have Iridescent Strobe Light highlighter. You can see it is a bit more shiny in comparison with the two finishing powders. Okay, then we have Radiant Peach and Vibrant Pink blushes. There's the two blushes. Oh, that's beautiful colors. So we have Radiant Pink. I'm just gonna add some more to see what it builds up to. Sorry, that's the Vibrant Pink. And then the Radiant Peach. Oh, that's a beautiful color. Just adding a second layer to that too. Now they do look very sparkly on the swatches in the camera, but if I look at it on my arm, it just looks glowy. It doesn't look sparkly. So I think it's maybe because I'm so zoomed in. The highlighter has a bit more of a glow, but the rest just, they look like a healthy glow. They don't look glittery in person. And there we have all the swatches. Now for the Dragon palette, this first shade is the same, so I'm not going to swatch that one. This is the other finishing powder from the Dragon palette, Divine Light. That's what that one looks like. It's a very light one. I'll add it this side. Just want to come closer to the camera. The bronzer is soft bronze. That's what it looks like. I'll just swatch it there. Then the highlighter is Sunlit Strobe Light. You can see this one is a lot more glowy than the other highlighter. And I really like this highlighter, Sunlit Strobe Light. It's a very pretty highlighter. And the color looks good on me. And then the two blushes are Mauve Haze and Peach Fusion. So there you have Mauve Haze and there you have Peach Fusion. So it's Mauve Haze. Just adding another layer. You can see it's very light on my skin tone. And then Peach Fusion. Just adding another layer of the Peach Fusion. Okay, so now if we compare the shades, that first one we have in both palettes. Then this one, I think the Dragon palette is a bit lighter. The blush in this Deer palette seems a bit warmer than the Dragon palette. You can see the highlighter in the Dragon palette is a bit more golden undertone and it's a bit more shiny. And then you can see the pink blush has a bit more color payoff than the mauve blush. And the peach blushes, I feel like the Dragon palette has a bit more warmth or a golden undertone. Okay, I just wanted to zoom out with these so you can see from a bit more of a distance. It's the deer and the dragon. So there's the box for the Swan palette. It also has the colors and the ingredients at the back. And then if you take it out, oh, that's gorgeous. I really love the design on this one. I didn't think I'd like this one as much as I do. It has one of those protective tags for the artwork. And then the colors on the inside. Oh, that's gorgeous. I think this highlighter might cause a bit of a cast on me in the winter months. We'll see when I apply it, how it works in the summer. So if we compare this one palette with the Elephant palette, it does seem like the highlighter might be a bit lighter. So those two are the same finishing powder. The rest of the colors are different. This one only has one finishing powder, whereas this one has the dim light as well as, I think this one is called soft light. And I think the only color in the blushes that really look like it could be similar is the pinky ones. This Mauve Fusion and the Radiant Rose, although the Mauve Fusion looks a bit darker and a bit more purpley undertoned. And then the bronzer in the Swan palette definitely looks a bit more cool tone than the bronzer in the Elephant palette. So let's hop into the swatches. I'm going to do the finishing powder, the highlighter, the bronzer, and then the three blushes. So dim light. This is what dim light looks like. It's an existing shade. This one actually looks very pretty on my skin tone, on my face. It looks a bit dark on my arm, but it works very beautifully on my face. And then the highlighter is Golden Hour. Wow, that one really packs a punch, huh? This is such a pretty color. Okay, there's the highlighter. Wow. Need to go light-handed with this one, I see. So I think that one can really glow. Then the bronzer, Natural Bronze. As far as I know, it's an existing shade in the collection. That's what it looks like. So there's the swatch for Natural Bronze. I like that color. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, we have Luminous Coral, Sunset Flush, and More Fusion. Oh, they're completely different shades. I love that. This is the Luminous Coral, the Sunset Flush, and the More Fusion. Because sometimes the shade looks similar on the skin, even though they look different on the pan, but this looks great. So there we have Luminous Coral. Oh, that's gorgeous. Sunset Flush and More Fusion. The Sunset Flush has quite a bit of a glow to it. I think from the three, the coral one is the most matte. They all do have a bit of a glowiness to them, but that's part of the Hourglass formula. They tend to make most of their products not shimmery, but glowy. And again, it looks like it's glittery on the video, but it looks more shimmery in person. Oh, and these colors are gorgeous. I wasn't going to get the Swan palette, but I'm super, super happy that I did. I really, really love this combo. And that highlighter doesn't look like it will leave a cast, but we'll try it out. Then on the Elephant palette, I'm only going to swatch the soft light, because this one's the same as the dim light in the Swan palette. There's the soft light. You can see it has a bit more of a yellow undertone. Just gonna see if I can build it up a bit. It's very close to my skin tone. Then the highlighter is Beaming Strobe Light. That's what that one looks like. It's also a very high impact highlighter. So I'm just adding it there. You can see it has a lot of glow. Then the bronzer is Lustrous Bronze Light. And that's what that one looks like. You can see it's a very warm undertone, but like a yellow warm, not a red warm. Okay, there's the bronzer. It's a really pretty bronzer. I do love using this one. And then for the blushes, we have Iridescent Coral and Radiant Rose. So there's Iridescent Coral. It's got like a golden glow to it, and Radiant Rose, the pinky one. So there's the coral and the rose one. So I really, really love using this palette. But I'm super excited about the new one too, Swan palette. Now, if I compare the swatches, you can barely see it, but the soft light finishing powder is a bit more of a yellow undertone in comparison to the dim light. But you can see them both there next to each other in the Elephant palette as well. The highlighter in the Elephant palette seems just a tad darker. You can see a bit of a cast there on my skin. And it has just slightly a bit more of a peachy undertone. Oh, but I really like this color. With the bronzer, you can see the Elephant palette has a bit more of a yellow undertone. They both seem warm, but this one just has a bit more of a yellow to it. And then the blushes, I think the coral one here looks closest to the first one here. Maybe a mix between the first and the second one. because this one has the golden shine to it. And then the pinky one here at the end of the elephant palette's a lot lighter than the mauvey one on this side. And it's a lot pinker than the first one here. So let me zoom out a bit. And you can see the swan and the elephant. Okay, so I'm very, very excited about these colors. They both look beautiful. And you can see a clear depth difference between the swan and the deer palette. And I'm very excited to see what they look like on my face. So let's go. I added some of the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation in the color 2W Warm Vanilla on my face. And then I just set it with this mini Hourglass translucent veil setting powder. I really like the setting powder. So if you have an option to choose a mini in your purchase, then really try to go for this one. Then I'm going to apply the deer on this side and this one on this side. On my eyebrows, I just added some of the Catrice Slimatic Slim Ultra Precise Brow Pencil in the color Cool Brown. And then I just added some shades, these center 3 shades of the mini star palette from Natasha Denona on my eyelids. And then some NYX Epic Wear eyeliner, just smudged it a bit at the top and added some in the waterline with some Maybelline Sky High mascara. And on the lips, I just have some Pat McGrath Nude Venus lip liner with the Gold Allure lip gloss. I'm going to use the same brushes on both sides. I'm just going to quickly clean them off with my Sigma switch in between the different colors. Now, I specifically didn't put any contour on today. I wanted to see the colors of the bronzer, and I kind of don't really can get the full picture if I put contour on. So I'm going to start off with this bronze light color. I'm just going to apply it on the cheek. Ooh. Let's see how buildable it is. I get a lot more color than I thought I would with this. As I said, it is for light skin tones, but this is a very nice color for a bit more of a natural bronzy look. I like it. The problem I have with the Snake palette is the bronzer has too much of a red undertone for me. And this one also has a bit of a cool tone effect going, but it has a little less of the red in the undertone. So I really like the color of this bronzer a bit more. And it can double as a bit of a contour as well. If you do want to do some soft contour, look at the bit of shading it adds there. I was going to do a full half on this side and then a full half on this side, but I think I should go step by step so you can actually do a comparison of each color. So I'm going to use the natural bronze of the Swan palette on this side. I was scared it might be a bit dark because it looks a lot darker than the other one. But it's actually, that's the lovely thing of Hourglass formula. It's something that you can very easily blend out if you went too heavy-handedly, and it's something that you can very easily build up, which I love about the formula. This one you can see is clearly a lot more of a cool tone than the elephant palette, or at least on my skin tone. Sometimes things look a bit different on my skin tone than for other people. But you can see it is darker than this side. I think you can build it up a bit more. I'm not going to go in with more because it's going to look funny, but I think it's a nice undertone. I did already go in a bit darker than I normally would, so a bit on the nose. But this one can also almost double as a contour bronzer. Okay, what I'm going to do with the blushes is I'm going to do the pinky one more to the outer side of my cheek, and then do the warmer Radiant Peach one, this one, more to the apple of the cheek, because that's how I would I would normally do it either like that or when I'm in a hurry, just swirl the two colors together and just go all the way. There we have the pink one. I was scared that you won't be able to see it on my skin, but it looks like it's quite buildable. Wow. Yeah, I really like this for the light palette because I had a bit difficulty with the dragon palette getting the blushes to show. Okay, let's go in with the peachy one. Tapping it off, it looks very pigmented. Oh, that's pretty. You don't need to add too much. This definitely has a lot more pigment in the blush than the dragon palette. Look how pretty that is. Yeah, in the Swan palette, I'm kind of want to try to use all three. So I'm going to try to do like a gradient with this one first at the top part, and then the pink one more here in the middle, and then just a pop of the orangey one here at the apple of the cheek. So there we have the mauve one. Oh, that's lovely. I used to do my blush with a dark mauvey color here at the back to kind of do a blushy contour, and then I would go lighter when I go to the front. And this is now the pinky one. You can see it also has a lot of pigment. I did not tap this one off. It does have a bit of a glow to it, almost like this one, because you can see this peachy has a nice glow. It has a little less of a glow than the peachy one from this side. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that middle one and just add it here on the apple. Oh, that's a gorgeous color. It also has a shine to it. It's a nice warm color. A nice color for autumn, I think. Okay, so there we have the Deer palette, the pinky shade and the corally shade. And the Swan palette, the mauve shade, and then the pinky shade, and then the orangey shade. I didn't memorize the shade, so forgive me for that. I don't know if you can see the glow this one has. It's actually so pretty. It's got this golden orangey glow to it. I'm using the iridescent strobe light from the Deer palette, and I'm just adding it to the high point of the cheek. Almost looks like a soft pinky type of highlighter. It's a very natural looking highlighter. It's not a strobe highlighter. You can see it's meant to give you a bit more of a natural glow. It's very pretty. I think if you're into doing more natural looks, this color works very well. I'm going to add a bit here. The brow, Cupid's bow. Don't know if you would be able to see that much. Okay, then the golden hour from the Swan palette. So there we have the golden hour. Oh, I wanted to tap it off. I forgot. Gee, this one really packs a punch, huh? But we'll fix that with the finishing powder. Just adding a bit on my nose. Going in a bit lighter so you can see you can do a lighter hand of the highlighter. You don't have to go in so deeply. I just forgot to tap it off, so I went in full powder. So what I normally do with my finishing powders is I take a big brush and then I just swirl between them. I'm going to do that again today because I don't really think you would be able to see a difference. I tell you what, I'll use the lighter one on a small brush first and just see if I can brighten up here a bit. I normally don't use these under the eyes because they do have a bit of a glow to it and I prefer a matte powder under the eyes. Then I'm just going to swirl between those two colors and just add my powder all over. This is how I normally apply my finishing powder, and just swirl it all over everything afterwards, except obviously my eyeshadow. And that's how it melts everything so beautifully together. I need to do that on this side too now. So this one only has the one finishing powder, this one. I have to say it's a bit more difficult swirling into these finishing powders when you only have one with such a big brush. I might use a smaller brush with it in the future. Let's see if we can blend these colors together and mute this highlight a bit. It seems to work. What do you think? I can add a bit under my eye as well from this, but it's not really brightening because it's similar to my skin tone, but just for comparison's sake. Just gonna adding some setting spray. This is just a homemade setting spray. Nothing fancy. I just want to see what it looks like after setting it with the setting spray. So I'm going to bring my lights in a bit closer. See if it shows you. Oh, that just filters everything out. Wait, I don't know. I think my camera settings are set to dim the preview because it looks very dark to me, but I think it's just the viewer. I don't think it's the actual camera. So I hope you can see the differences there, what the end results are like. I think personally for me, I really like both palettes. I don't think I had one shade that I didn't like. I think this one I would use more for everyday or winter months. And then this one I would probably use if I want to just get a bit more of an impact or a bit more depth in my colors. But I think both work for my light skin tone. So if you have a light skin tone, then I think you can easily use either or, both of them. I think the Deer palette, if you are a bit more tan than I am, the Deer palette might be just a little light for you. But I think they both look stunning. So please let me know in the comments what you think about this, because I've been looking forward to this release the whole year. I've been looking forward to the next Hourglass holiday release, and these normally tend to sell out quickly. So if you planned on getting one, I would suggest do it while you can, if they are still available by the time I upload. I do know they did a restock on some of them, so if you intend to get one, I would recommend to get one. They are gorgeous. This is the ultimate in face palette, in my opinion. With regards to the swatches, they do swatch a little lighter than it applies on the face. And I do also honestly believe the texture that the finishing powder and all of the products together give on your face looks better in real life than it does on the camera. I just wanted to come show you what it looks like in the natural light. So there we have the Deer palette. And there we have the Swan palette. And there we go, guys. What do you think? I really love it. I hope you love it too. Let me know if you don't, if it's not your type of thing, or let me know if you are interested in buying these. Then I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you next time, guys. Bye.